Welcome back to your nightmares, my children. This is Mr. Midnight speaking. Welcome to my twisted domain. Today, we will be looking at a very scary case. This case will remind you all that humans are more scary than any type of supernatural being. So now, I will not waste your time, but make sure you subscribe and like, because if you do not, I will haunt you. Buckle up, and always remember, the darkness always follows. I will now leave you with my narrator, so enjoy.
On a sunny afternoon in May, 18-year-old Jordan Clee was shot and killed in the middle of the street in Pine Lake Village apartment complex. His family was left in shock as they couldn't understand how or why their beloved son ended up in this random place, miles away from his school. The circumstances of his death were nothing like Jordan's character. He was a loving, kind, and friendly person who didn't have enemies. But as police delved deeper into the investigation, a dark and disturbing story began to unfold. This is the tragic story of Jordan Clee's murder. Jordan's mother, Karen Clee, stated in the press conference that Jordan was a good kid. He didn't run with bad kids. He was a very loving, very kind, very friendly person that didn't have enemies. Jordan's mother told the police that he wasn't the type to skip school and hang out with friends. But on that fateful day, Jordan never made it to school. His family racked their brains, trying to figure out why he was in Pine Lake Village apartment complex, but they couldn't come up with any answers. The police spokesperson said, "We are investigating all possibilities, including the possibility of gang-related activity. However, at this time, we have no concrete evidence to support this theory." The police initially thought that Jordan's death may have been a result of gang-related activity, but as they continued to investigate, they ruled out this theory. The most likely motive seemed to be that this was an armed robbery gone wrong, but even that didn't explain why Jordan was in that specific location. A week after the murder, police announced that they had made 3 arrests. The youngest of the 3 boys was 17-year-old Dante Wright, who was in the same school year as Jordan. Police believed that Dante was the ringleader of the group and that he was the one who had discharged the firearm, killing Jordan. As the trial progressed, it was revealed that the 3 boys had attempted to rob Jordan. But things went horribly wrong and they ended up shooting and killing him. Dante Wright, the alleged shooter, was unrepentant and showed no remorse for his actions. He even laughed and rolled his eyes during the victim impact statement given by Jordan's mother, Karen Clee.
Jordan Michael Clee, born July 26, 1998. Murdered October 4, 2016, at 18 years old. Jordan has no future. Jordan can no longer choose to go to college. Jordan can no longer choose to change. Jordan can no longer make a difference. Jordan can no longer fall in love or have a family. Jordan no longer has a future. I've lost my only child, my son, my baby, my friend. More than that, I've lost laughter and love. I no longer have the hope of having grandchildren. I've lost the enjoyment of holidays and birthdays and of everyday life. As a mother or any parent ages her child, Her children are there to care for her. But now in my life, I walk this journey alone. I no longer have that luxury because that was carelessly and cruelly taken from me. I no longer get to see the smile of my son when he walks through the door and brings me a Frosty from Wendy's at the end of his shift. The simple pride of a hard work shift and bringing his mom something that just makes her happy. The songs we used to enjoy, I can no longer listen to. Movie nights we did together no longer exist. I could continue with all the loss. I won't. This year was supposed to be a year of celebration, of senior pictures with prom and graduation and parties. Instead, it was a nightmare that no parent should ever endure. On the nights I managed to sleep, I wake up hearing my son scream for me, to then have to realize all over again, night after night, my son is dead, gone, taken. For what? Why? Can you answer the question? Why? Why? I have an answer. Your answer will never be good enough. There will never be an answer good enough to satisfy why you shot my son. Why you thought that what you had should be yours. Why you felt that what you wanted, you were entitled to. Why you thought his death was an acceptable response to your jealousy or desire to what he had. Drugs, clothes, money, jewelry, bones, shoes, whatever it was that you felt you needed more than his life. Your why will never be better than his life. Your want will never trump my son's death. You get to live. You get to wake up every day. Your life continues. I sincerely hope that whatever it was you wanted so badly that you felt the need to murder my son was worth the next at least 52 years of your continued existence. You won't get the luxury of raising your child because you took mine away. So because for the first time in my life, I feel hate in my heart, here is what I hope. I hope that every time you want for a jacket, that you stay cold. I hope that every time you want for shoes, you get a hole in yours. I hope that every time you want for a meal, you go hungry. And I hope that every time you want for a bed, you have a sleepless night. I hope that every time you wish for your mother, she doesn't come for a visit. But more than anything, because we, and I, am nothing like you. I don't wish or hope any of that upon you. I simply wish that you go to prison for the maximum time your plea agreement allows, that you become something more than what you were taught to be in your miserable life, and that your child gets brought up far away from the life you led, because it's obvious to me and everyone here that you need help. Your actions have led you to a prison cell, but have also created an empty cell that I live in every day. While you can still hope to be released one day, I'll never escape my help. You are still alive, but Jordan has no future. Thank you, Your Honor. We're done.
The courtroom was filled with anger and disgust at Dante's behavior. This shows a psychopath. But even after trial, there was another unexpected villain in this story. Dante Wright's own mother. She gave interviews where she was asked about her feelings towards the victim's family, and her response was lacking in empathy. It's important for her. It is very important for her to acknowledge and understand the pain and loss that Jordan Clee's family is experiencing, and to show empathy towards them. The criminal justice system has held the perpetrators accountable for their actions, and they have been sentenced to serve time in prison, but it will not bring Jordan Clee back or ease the pain of his family and loved ones. So in conclusion, the murder of Jordan Clee was a tragic and senseless act committed by a group of individuals who attempted to rob him and ended up shooting him in the head. Despite the initial confusion surrounding the circumstances of the case, the police were able to arrest and charge 3 individuals: Dante Wright, Jeremiah Ellison, and Delrano Gracie, for their involvement in the crime. Dante Wright, the alleged ringleader of the group, was found guilty of armed robbery and sentenced to 50 years in prison. The case raises many questions and doubts, particularly about the motives and reasons behind the crime, and about the behavior of Dante Wright and his mother after the crime. The loss of Jordan Clee has had a profound impact on his family, who will never be able to see him again, and the case serves as a reminder of the devastating consequences of violent crime.
Well, my children, thank you all for listening. I hope this opened your eyes to the real terror in this world, and that is just humans. I will see you very soon, so until then, love the darkness as it always follows.